All right, let's talk about a challenge that, let's be honest, every single data analyst runs into. You've spent weeks, maybe months, building this brilliant predictive model, but when you present it, your stakeholders just want to see a simple bar chart. So, how do you bridge that gap? How do you make your amazing work truly influential?
Does this hit a little too close to home? Yeah, you're not alone. It's that moment, right? That frustrating feeling when your powerful, predictive insights just fizzle out because they can't break through the comfort of what's familiar. This is exactly where great analysis can fail to become great strategy.
To make this all really concrete, we're going to follow a case study. Let's imagine a company called Hungry Now, a food delivery service. Their analyst has a new model that could seriously slash delivery times. The problem? They've got to convince management to look past that good old bar chart first. So, let's kick things off with part one, the bar chart barrier. Think of it as this invisible wall that just pops up the second you start talking about models and algorithms instead of the simple metrics they already know and love. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of the problem. It's like we're living in two different worlds. Where we, the analysts, see the beauty of a regression model, our stakeholder just sees a black box. What we call p-values, they call confusing jargon. And what we get all excited about as predictive power, they just see as unnecessary complexity. And honestly, can you blame them? The simple bar chart has always worked just fine for them. So that's the big question, isn't it? The goal here is absolutely not to dumb down your work. Not at all. It's to translate its immense value into a language the business can understand, and even more importantly, a language they can act on. Which brings us to part two, translating the technical. This is where we get practical. This is all about turning dense statistics into plain, simple English. And we're going to start by tackling some of the usual suspects. Okay, so here's the jargon-filled way we usually do it. You casually mention an ARMA model, and you can practically see the eyes glazing over in the room. I mean, it's technically accurate, sure, but it is completely inaccessible. But what if you said this instead? By comparing it to something they already know and trust, an Excel trend line, you've instantly made the whole concept feel familiar. You've just built a bridge from their world right into yours. It's that simple. Ugh. And here's another classic. I'm sure you've said this before. This is statistically pure, but to a stakeholder, it might as well be another language. Their mind is just racing with questions like, what's a coefficient? Why is it negative? And what in the world is a p-value? Now, look at the translation. It focuses purely on the impact. Adding one driver makes orders arrive 2 minutes faster. Simple, clear, and that confusing p-value? Well, that just becomes the stats show this isn't a random fluke. All of a sudden, it's not just data. It's a clear, actionable business insight. Let's do just one more. Let's say you're testing if rain affects delivery times. Instead of talking about t-scores and null hypotheses, you just frame it like this. You talk about strong evidence, thousands of data points, and a consistent outcome. That's how you make your statistics feel solid, real, and totally dependable. Okay, on to part three, a story in layers. Now that we've got the language right, how do we actually structure the presentation to build that crucial trust? Because it's not just about what you say, it's about the order you say it in. You always start in the stakeholder's comfort zone. A simple bar chart. This shows the daily deliveries for Hungry Now over the last month. It's familiar, it's easy to read, and most importantly, it establishes a baseline of shared understanding. You're on common ground. This is the key strategy right here. You anchor your entire presentation in something they already know and trust. And once you have that shared starting point, you can start to layer your more advanced insights right on top, showing them exactly how your model adds extra value that the simple chart just can't see. And that layering happens in 3 easy steps. First, visual storytelling. You literally add your forecast right onto their familiar chart. Second, you show validation. You have to prove the model actually works. And third, you use impact language. You connect every single finding back to a real business result. Now, showing validation is how you answer that unspoken question that's in everybody's head. Okay, but how do we know this isn't just some wild guess? You don't need to get into the weeds of trained test splits. A simple sentence like this does all the heavy lifting. It proves your model is reliable without getting anyone lost in the technical details. And that brings us to the final and most important step, part 4, from data to decisions. Because at the end of the day, all of this work is for one reason: to turn our analysis into real, tangible action. Let's be real. No stakeholder has ever made a big business decision based on an R-squared value. They make decisions based on the answer to one simple question: so what? This is the final and most important translation. Don't end with the metric, end with the outcome. Did we gain revenue? Did we reduce risk? Did we improve efficiency?
This is impact language, not p-values, not coefficients, just a single powerful number. A 15% potential reduction in customer complaints. You know what? That one number is more persuasive than any statistical summary you could ever provide. It's concrete, it's meaningful, and that is what drives decisions.
So the big takeaway here is this: great communication isn't about simplifying the math. It's never been about that. It's about translating the math into decisions. Your role isn't just to be an analyst. It's to be the translator who turns complexity into clarity and confidence. Look, ultimately, almost anyone can build a model that's accurate. The real challenge, and honestly, the true mark of a great analyst, is building one that's influential. So the question you should always ask yourself isn't just, is my analysis right? But is it ready to make an impact?